War of the Spark is a magic set, but it's also a story event. It's the finale of a multi-year story arc that spans back to Kaladesh and even earlier. It's a story about planeswalkers, and the spark which gives planeswalkers the ability to travel the planes. And it's about a devious plot spanning multiple worlds. It's all culminating in one gigantic battle on the world of Ravnica. The story starts with Nicol Bolas. Bolas is an elder dragon planeswalker who wants nothing less than total omnipotence. Bolas doesn't just want riches or minions or people to complement his pretty horns. He wants power. Power beyond gods, beyond planeswalkers, beyond everything. He wants to be the most powerful being in the multiverse, and he's been plotting to achieve exactly that. Decades ago, Bolas's grand ambition hit a snag during the time spiral block. Huge, awful time rifts were threatening to rip the multiverse apart, so a group of planeswalkers came together on Dominaria to stop the rifts. And they succeeded. The Great Mending sealed the time rifts, but also had a side effect. The mending altered the nature of the planeswalker spark. All planeswalkers, including Nicol Bolas, became mortal for the first time. Their godlike powers became limited, giving rise to a new generation of planeswalkers who were people rather than deities. Nicol Bolas was infuriated. Good guys giving up their power to save the world? So annoying! But Bolas is nothing if not cunning and patient. He vowed to find a way to restore himself to his former glory and anoint himself the ruler of everything. And he's found a way. Deep in the annals of Dominarian history, he discovered an ancient spell of incredible power, the Elder Spell. The Elder Spell grants its caster unlimited power, but at a terrible price. What is that price? You'll find out in a minute. Bolas has been busy over the last few years. Let's take a look at each world and see how Nicol Bolas has been working towards his goal. On Kaladesh, the world of invention, we found Bolas's minion Tezzeret up to no good. Tezzeret perfected a technology called the Planar Bridge, which would allow him to transport large amounts of non-living matter from one world to another. The Gatewatch thought they destroyed the Planar Bridge, but we discovered later that Tezzeret had actually implanted the power of the Planar Bridge into himself. So from Kaladesh, we know that Bolas got himself one Planar Bridge. The Gatewatch followed the clues to the plane of Amonkhet, where they discovered an entire city-state devoted to worshipping Bolas as their god pharaoh. The good news was they found and destroyed Razaketh, one of Liliana's last demons. Bad news was, Bolas had turned the world of Amonkhet into his personal training ground. Amonkhet's greatest warriors became the Eternals, a vast, unstoppable army of the undead. So from Amonkhet, we know that Bolas has one army of Eternals ready and waiting. After confronting Bolas, the heroes lost badly and were sent reeling across the multiverse. Jace ended up marooned on the world of Ixalan, without his memories and unable to planeswalk away. He found that all the world's factions were racing to find an ancient golden city, and he and Vraska found that the key to the city's power was an artifact called the Immortal Sun. The Immortal Sun was the same force that kept planeswalkers from being able to leave the plane. As Jace and Vraska located the Immortal Sun, Tezzeret appeared and used the power of the Planar Bridge to whisk it away before they could claim or destroy it. So from Ixalan, we know that Bolas now controls one Immortal Sun. The Planeswalkers of the Gatewatch had been through a lot of failures, but they knew they had to be powerful enough to confront Bolas again. They convened on Dominaria, the home plane of the necromancer Liliana, and the location of her last demon, hoping to free her from her demonic pact. The demon lord Belzenlok was assembling his own army, threatening to revive ancient evils of Dominaria's past. The good news is that the Gatewatch, together with Teferi and other new friends from the Weatherlight crew, destroyed Belzenlok, and Teferi regained his Planeswalker spark. The bad news is that Liliana was not freed from her contract. Instead, control of her soul fell to the one who brokered her demonic deal in the first place. You guessed it, Nicol Bolas. He showed up to claim Liliana's contract as his own, and whisked her away. So from Dominaria, we know Bolas now controls one incredibly powerful necromancer. And now, finally, it's Ravnica time. The city world of Ravnica has been boiling over with intrigue. As we saw in Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance, the guilds are at each other's throats. Guildmasters are getting deposed or assassinated right and left, and new guild leaders are being installed in their place. And all these changes connect back to Bolas. And the Gatewatch aren't the only ones concerned with Bolas's machinations. It's now become clear all over Ravnica that Bolas is stirring up chaos and infiltrating the guilds to set the stage for a massive takeover of the plane. Ravnica's own Ralzeric activates an interplanar beacon of his own design, calling out to planeswalkers across the multiverse, warning them of Bolas's impending coup. Scores and scores of planeswalkers arrive on Ravnica, answering the call for various reasons of their own, only to find they've planeswalked directly into Bolas's trap. The Immortal Sun now resides on Ravnica, thereby preventing any planeswalker from escaping. The next step is a massive invasion. Bolas will use Tezzeret's planar bridge to transport the army of Eternals to Ravnica, and use Liliana to take command of them. Bolas has brought all the pieces together. His plan has worked flawlessly, and everything has fallen into place. He's just about ready to complete his recipe and cast the Elder Spell to gain ultimate power. Turns out, he never needed Ravnica in the first place. He never needed minions, or guildmasters, or even a big invasion force. All this time, what he truly needed was planeswalkers. Nicol Bolas is about to cast the Elder Spell, a ritual to let him harvest vast numbers of planeswalker sparks for ultimate power. Every planeswalker who has come to foil his plans are playing right into them. Welcome to the finale. Welcome to Nicol Bolas's final scheme, and the last desperate fight to stop him once and for all. Welcome to War of the Spark.